happy TGIF Day. Hope you guys are all doing good. To start us off, we have our word of the week, which is to encounter, which is when you unexpectedly meet someone or something. Right now in our world travels, we are in Europe, which I have your passports. Without these, we can't travel the world, so I got you covered. We are just leaving Europe, and we are heading down to South America, which we're going to be going to the very tip of South America in Chile, which is a place it's called Cape Horn. The cool thing about Cape Horn is it is surrounded by oceans, and I say oceans because that is where the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean meet, so they encounter each other. Cool thing about this area is the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean, when they meet, the Atlantic Ocean is saltier. So when the two waters encounter each other, they don't mix. So there is a definite line of separation of the waters. So it's kind of cool. And that actually goes with what we're doing today. Kind of looks like we're cooking because I have an apron on. I've got oil, I've got food coloring, I've got cooking stuff, but we're not cooking. The supplies that we're going to need today is oil, water, and food coloring. Paper that I'm using, you can use any type of paper. I have watercolor paper because it's thicker. The thicker paper works better because it doesn't absorb as fast, but the other kind will work just fine. You just have to move quicker because it absorbs quicker. So the first step we're going to need to do is get yourself a baking dish. We're going to start with you just add a little bit of water, just enough. You don't want to cover the whole bottom part of the pan, just enough that, you know, when you swish it around, there's a little bit of water scattered around. Next step is pick some colors that you want to use. I'm using the food coloring, and you swish it around. I've got green. I'm going to use a blue. Try to pick colors that when they mix, it makes a new color and doesn't just turn brown or black. The different colors will make more of an abstract picture effect. So I'm just kind of dotting yellows around. And you don't want to swish it around yet because the colors will all mix and it'll just cover the paper and won't stand out as much. Next step is I have my oil, which you can put it in a cup, use like a basting brush, even a paintbrush, splatter it around however you need it, but I have mine in a spray can. So what I'm going to do is just spray it on there. And when you do this, you will see that when the oil and water encounter each other, they don't mix. So it's separating and it's creating almost kind of like a bubble effect. Anyways, next take your paper and we're just going to drop it directly on top of the colors in the oil. And you don't want to swish it around because it'll mix it all together. But as you wait, you can see the oil seeping through the paper. And that's kind of when you'll be able to tell when it's done. If the sides are coming up, you can kind of push it down, but try not to do too much. Just kind of let it do its own thing. Okay, and when you think that the oil's seeped through enough, we're just going to take up the two corners and we're going to pick it straight up. You don't want to rub it around. So then we're just going to pick it straight up. And you can turn it and it causes the oil and the water to mix more. But there we go. Kind of an abstract picture. Not really anything, but it's pretty cool how the colors are. Okay, so if you want to do more, which most likely that you will because they turn out pretty fun, I have an empty dish. Just take some water, swish it around. The gel food coloring does stick more, so you'll have to kind of swish it around just to rinse it off. See if I So then you'll just want to dump it in your bowl. Put a little bit of water in there just to rinse it, just to get the greens out. And I'll do one more for you. A little bit of water. This time I'm going to use a red. If you don't have food coloring, you can use any type of watercolor paints. The paints that we made, if you made some of the paints that I made in one of my early videos, you can use those. It just blends into the water more than the gel does. So you'll have to just work quicker. So let's just get this one done. Let's see, what other color should I do with that? Maybe a yellow. The more color you do, the easier it is for them all to blend together and not be as cool, but it's kind of fun just to try it out and see what happens. This time I'm going to put a lot of oil in. You can already see it separating because they don't mix with the, it doesn't mix with the water. So now I'm just going to drop it in there, and that got kind of crooked. And I'm just going to wait for the oil to come through the paper. And then I'm just going to pick up the ends. See how it looks. All right, and if you want, you can keep turning it, and then the water and the oil will still drip. And it'll give you a different effect. All right, there's those parts. So the next part I want to show you is something really quick. To make the picture stand out, take a piece of paper, and you have, let me grab this one. If you have this one, you want to cut a square out of the middle of the paper that's a little bit smaller than this. So what I did is I cut that out and I made a frame. You can just put yourself in it, but I think it's pretty cool when you put it just like that. If I can get it on there. With the white around it, it really makes it stand out and it looks pretty awesome. So that's it. Hope you guys like it, and I really hope that you guys show me what you guys come up with, and hope you have fun with it. Okay, thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.